When you ask a random person what the greatest empire in history is, one of the most likely answers would be the Roman Empire. Unrivaled in its longevity, the empire that disappeared more than 1,000 years ago has had profound influence even on today's society. For instance, the seasports we use in the island today were basically pioneered by the Romans. However, the empire was also famous for its collapse in the 5th century. The fall of the empire is commonly attributed to the invasions of the so-called barbarians. There are descriptions of hundreds of thousands of ethnically homogeneous barbarian groups flocking to the empire, destroying cultures, and establishing new kingdoms which become the basis for modern Europe. Despite this apparent view in popular culture, modern historians are highly skeptical of this massive invasionist model. The so-called barbarians left no written records, so all the information we have was derived from the highly biased view of the Romans. Rather, the historians hypothesized that the invasions of small military barbarian groups resulted in the change in leadership in the previous Roman provinces, with the local population largely remaining the same. The recent development of techniques that allow us to get DNA from the bones of long-dead individuals presents an exciting opportunity to answer questions that are usually reserved for historians and archaeologists. I am involved in the biggest ancient DNA project in the world that looking at more than 6,000 ancient genomes, which spans from the 4th to 9th century. In particular, I'm responsible for analyzing more than 500 individuals from today's Hungary, which used to be a frontier to defend against the barbarians in Roman period. Strikingly, what I have found is there was indeed a migration of individuals, probably from the northern Europe into the empire. However, I also observed that there is a wide complexity of how these communities were structured, both genetically and culturally. We find some communities that showed cohesive family structure, with individuals tending to marry the ones that have similar genetic ancestry. While just down the road, within the walking distance, we find other communities that showed totally different pattern, with individuals tending to marry the ones with very different genetic ancestry. So what this is telling us is that rather than movements of single homogeneous groups, the barbarian invasions actually involved groups of heterogeneous ethnic and cultural backgrounds, which interacted closely with the previous Roman populations. Thank you.